This is not scuffed. Hold on, I gotta turn on the background music and everything. Perfect. Sorry. You didn't see anything.
We're all doing our best. We are all doing our best.
Okay. Let's start. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining us on our Obon Bash, this very scuffed collab where we talk about spooky stories. Do you guys want to give yourself introductions? Who are we with today?
Hi, I'm Stelli. I'm a very lost cheating VTuber, and I managed to find myself here by a campfire. I'm not sure why, but we'll be sharing ghost stories.
Yay!
There you
Welcome
go.
in. Where can we find you, Stelli?
I usually stream on Twitch under the username Stelli Ferovs, and I would have like said hi in the chat, but my cat has decided to sit on my hand.
What?
There we go. Yeah.
Okay, yay! Welcome. Okay, next, Ayden.
Hey guys, my name is Ayden Glyden, your local streamer by day and your hero by night.
That cool transition.
Thank you. You guys can find me on Twitch mostly. I tend to stream more later. I'm going to stream later today, but yeah, I'm glad to be invited here. Is this a bad time to mention that I don't do very well with ghost stories?
Don't worry, me neither. We're all scared here.
We'll
Thank
be fine.
you. Yay. I guess I'll go next. Yes, Henshin. I'm Lycoris. This is my stream, but I'm also in everybody else's stream. So hi, I'm a yokai. So I am right in the spoopy mood. I am a spoopy myself. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch, but I'm mainly on YouTube at Lycoris Banashi, and I barely ever stream. So welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yay! Thank you for hosting us.
Yeah, thank you for hosting us for real.
Yay! And then Yume? Yay! Two yokais. Yay!
Yay!
And then we also
Yay.
have Mara, and she is currently not with us right now, but she's in the chat. She's hanging out. She will join us in a little bit. I think, hopefully, fingers crossed. Depends on how long we're going to stream. So, shall we start with what is Obon and the Chinese equivalent? What is that called again?
The 7th lunar month.
It's just called the 7th lunar month?
Yeah, or else it's called the Hungry Ghost Festival.
Ooh, the Hungry Ghost Festival. So what is Obon, or the Hungry Ghost Festival? Is there any guesses? Does anybody want to guess what it is? Or if anybody knows? Anyone in chat? Or what about Ayden? We just explained
Yeah, we
to
just
you
talked
off
about this.
stream.
It was the celebration for your ancestors, correct?
Right.
It was for people that had passed away, and you guys are just celebrating their memories.
Yes. So on the 7th lunar month, which sometimes is in July and sometimes in August, depending on the calendar year, during a specific couple days, is thought that the ghosts of your ancestors and passed away family members return to Earth, and then they like come and visit you or visit their graves. So what we do in the living is we go and we clean their graves, and we make good food, and we offer like incense and all that stuff, and just have a good time as family. But also, this is the month where the spookies come out. More ghosts are here, more than usual. So we are going to celebrate, instead of, you know, saying hi to our ancestors, hello, we are going to talk about the spoopies.
Yeah.
The not so good
spookies.
ones. With that said, would anybody like to start the story? Who wants to read first?
Who wants to be the first one? Who wants to be the first guinea pig?
Yeah, I have one, but I'm
I can
not
do
sure.
first.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go
Sure.
first.
Yay! Okay.
Okay. Oh boy, I'm already shaking a little bit.
It's a dead pig.
Okay, so I'm gonna go change back to my civilian mode because I gotta do this the most easy way I can. Okay, so when I was younger, I used to visit a friend. Let's call him. We'll call him Robin, I guess, for now. So it was a like 10-15 minute walk to his place. The only catch was that there was two routes. Either one, I could take the 10-15 minute walk to his house through a cemetery, or I had to go around and it would take me like 30 minutes. So, as a kid, didn't think too much of it. I just went ahead and walked to the cemetery. And I was doing this for years, right? Like it wasn't nothing too much, nothing crazy ever really happened at that time. Well, this one particular day, I happened to stay a little longer at his place than I intended to. And when I had to make the walk back home, it was late in the evening. So, I was walking like normal. I had my headphones in, and I thought I saw something run in front of me. Now, I wasn't too sure what it was. I thought it was going to be an animal, so again, didn't pay too much attention. Kept walking. And then I swear I saw something run again. Yeah, so I was very scared at this point, and I was like, in my head, it was most likely it was going to be like a raccoon or something, you know, that could probably come at me. Well, while I was looking around to see if I could find anything, I saw a girl standing near the entrance of the cemetery. Now, it was a little girl. It wasn't an adult or anything, but she looked so real. It's not like, I don't know if you like, you know, in ghost stories where they're kind of transparent and they're luminescent and all the other stuff.
like apparitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did not look like that at all. She looked like a regular person just standing there.
Okay.
So I called out to her because in my head it's just like like a little girl. Maybe she got out. So I remember saying, "Hey, do you need some help?" And I didn't get a response. So I figured I'm gonna go walk to her to see if I can, you know, if everything's okay. Well, as I got a little closer, I realized that her eyes were taking up the majority of her face. Like,
Oh no.
it were just two really big eyes, and they were just staring at me. Yeah, and the second that I saw that, I took off running, and I did not look back. So when I got home, you know, I was a kid. I was a kid during this time. So in my head, I justified it as, oh, you know, it was just I was just scared. I was walking through the cemetery at night. Maybe I saw something there that wasn't there, you know, like maybe I just made it all up in my head.
Oh god. Yeah.
Well, years passed by. There's a second part to the story. Years passed by, and I didn't really think about it too much until I started dating my current girlfriend, and I told her about all this, and she was super into the supernatural. So one day when we were first starting to date, she asked me, would you be willing to go back again? And at this time I was trying to impress her, so I was like, you know what, yeah, I'll go. I don't mind. I'm not
strong.
scared. Yeah. I'm not scared. I'll do it. And I remember she also gave me a spirit box. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where it's
We
just
don't
like a
fuck
little
with
box.
those here.
Yeah. So she had one on hand and she gave me one. So when I tell you that I was at this point, it felt a little real. I was like, okay, now we're going into the little territory of like all the ghost adventure shows that I watch. So I figured, you know what, I'll do it. I'm trying. This is a way for me to justify that I didn't see anything. I was still very hard like non-believer. I was like, nah, it's just me. It was just me being scared. So once I got the spirit box, I hopped in my truck, and I went back to the cemetery. And I stayed there for like, I want to say like an hour, just walking around with the spirit box. And I'm also recording myself. Like, I'm recording the spirit box going off.
Oh yeah.
And at this point, I wasn't entirely sure what to do, so I was just kind of asking random questions that I hear on TV, like, is anyone here with me? You know, what's your name? All this other stuff. And for about an hour, nothing happened. Eventually, I get kind of tired of it. And I say, okay, if you want me to go away, you know, tell me to go away. And I sit there for a second. And I'm listening to this spirit box go off. And there's nothing. There's just blank noise. So I finally get tired. I'm like, okay, and I'll go to turn it off. Right before I turn it off, I thought I made out a little girl's voice say, go away.
Yeah.
And I know that Lycoris, you don't mind me if I play that little audio that I
yeah,
prepared for you
yeah,
guys?
yeah. Share.
No.
Your thing again.
Who just did someone just yell no?
We're starting so strong.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be good.
share it on Discord and
yeah.
we'll see.
Sounds good.
I can't
Go
believe you
ahead.
recorded yourself doing that. That's so. What did your girlfriend say?
Oh yeah, there's a whole little I'll tell you once we get past
Okay,
this, because
okay.
she's part of it.
Getting ahead of myself. Huh.
All right, there we are.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
No problem.
Okay, I think you guys should be able to hear. Go ahead.
Okay, here you go. And it's a little hard to make out, but they're at the end here. Let me see if I can pull it up. The
It's really
thing gets kind of quiet. Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
quiet.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn off my music. Okay, try again.
Okay. Let me go ahead and play from the beginning.
Oh, I heard it that time.
Yeah, it gets a little quiet beforehand, and you can hear a little girl's voice say, "Go away."
Ah.
Now, I've showed this to a couple people, and you know, it varies. People hear it, some people don't. But I remember being there at the time, hearing it, and stopping like everything.
Yeah.
I swear, my face was literally this. Like,
Oh no.
I was not sure what to do. And at that point, I jumped in my truck, and this thing had an aux cord, so I plugged it into my radio, turned it all the way up, and I re-listened to it, and I heard the voice. So now I'm freaking out. So I drive all the way home, and I called my girlfriend, and I told her what happened, and she was like, "Oh, see, that's what I wanted to see if she would respond," and I was like, "Why?" And she told me because apparently, according to her demonology book that she's super into, there's the demon can take the form of people.
Oh, with the
But-
kids.
Oh,
So she
wow.
led
Yeah.
you to go hunt a demon with no
I didn't know.
experience?
Like, yeah, she was just like because she was so.
Sacrificial boyfriend.
I'm saying, okay, so I wasn't the only
For
one
the
that thought that,
greater
okay.
good, I think.
But she was just telling me that, you know, when a demon can't look exactly like a person, there's always like something wrong with them when you look at them.
Yeah.
So what she was super curious about is the fact that I said that her eyes were super big on her face.
I hate it.
Yeah. Thanks, I hate it.
So I was super scared at that point because, I mean, she just wanted to prove a point. She's like, you say you didn't believe in it, so, you know, what does it matter? And I was like, okay, yes, but
Touché.
yeah, but, you know, essentially you're giving me up for a sacrifice, but whatever.
Because you don't believe it doesn't work on you.
Exactly. See, that was the
That's
mentality, I guess. But anyway, that night when I went to bed, I mean, I couldn't. No, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
I had such a hard time sleeping that I went out and just out on my porch and was just kind of catching my breath. And as I was,
Totally understandable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, I was just catching my breath, and out of nowhere, I felt like all the hair on my arms stand up, and I had the sensation of like, you need to go inside right now.
I would never go
So
outside.
I wouldn't go
yeah,
outside.
Yeah.
so I went back inside, and I could not sleep. I just laid in my bed and I could not sleep. Could not sleep.
Time to game.
Eventually, it got a little late, and I dozed off. And my dog, that I have had for years, and she's never done this, like in the entirety of the time that I used to live there. She climbed on my chest and looked me in the face and started growling.
Oh
Got chills.
Yeah, she just started growling and growling, and I eventually call out her name, and she kind of gave me like this cocked look that she looked like if she was confused. And then it stopped. And that was it. That was all I got from that.
Oh my
That was-
god.
That was my experience. That was the only time I ever had any like supernatural experience. But ever since then, I don't mess with that no more.
No,
Mhm,
no,
no.
no. Oh my gosh. Do you think the dog was possessed or were you possessed? Why? What was going on there?
I have no idea. All I remember is laying in my bed, looking my dog in the eyes, and she was just like, she was so angry. Like, I've never seen her to this day. I still like, she's still with me. I have no idea where that came from.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and once we moved out of the house, it kind of like everything stopped.
I think it's the house. It's possessed house.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Why would you go outside in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
I was
After a
scared. I needed some breath. I needed fresh air.
It's
I
open
would
a window.
be so scared to go outside. Oh my
Ugh.
god.
Yeah, no, it was a bad time. I still remember that. I remember that so vividly, and the fact that I had the little video. Every once in a
Yeah.
while, I would think about it. It's
No.
crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Okay, so we have a tier list. So we are now going to rate our stories, starting with Ayden. What do you think? What do you guys think? Was it Spooks for Days is the most scary? Skin crawlers, like, ooh, like I got chills. Look behind you kind of deal, which is like you're reading on your phone, you go, you kind of look behind, okay, nothing's there, move on. Not spooky, or I would scare the ghost. Where do you think this stands?
Honestly, spooks for days.
Mhm.
Spooks
Because
for
like
Days?
the thought that it could be a demon.
Yeah, I like being the test subject for your girlfriend. That's pretty rad.
That was evil of her. Like, don't get me wrong, I love her, but dear lord, I had no warning or nothing.
My chat is saying look behind you kind of deal, which is like,
shit.
I really?
Look behind you! I almost died.
He almost died. What if I put it in the middle like skin crawler? So it's between
Yeah,
Spooks
yeah.
for Days and Look Behind You, skin crawler, because it did make me break out in
Oh,
chills
same.
when you said that, the dog one. That one
I just
freaky.
I just
Oh,
saw someone say, I mean, but you didn't. I mean, I guess technically you're right, but
Okay, so I'm gonna put Ayden's for skin crawler 1. So that's what we're working with. Okay, who wants to go next?
Oh, I think I could.
Okay.
So, this story of mine happened to me, and it took place around this time of the year. So, during the Hungry Ghost Festival, where Chinese people believe that all the spirits come out and are free to roam the world for an entire month. At that point in time, I was a student, and we had like school study sessions where we would stay late at school into the evening to prepare for major exams. And so I was one of the students who was made to stay. My grades weren't very good.
Ooh.
At the end of the day, I would go home and I would take this public bus. Singapore is very big on like public transport. So the bus was still running even at 9 to 10 p.m. at night.
Ooh.
And this bus, this bus was something else. So, let me tell you a little bit about the route. The bus route goes to, it goes out kind of into what little countryside Singapore has. It goes close to like a few army camps, and then it goes to the main cemeteries. Where's
I think I know what bus you're
Why is
talking
it always
about.
Yeah.
cemeteries?
yes, I know the main cemeteries, and then after that it goes to my home, and so every day, for the sake of my grades, I have to sit on this bus.
Oh my god.
For the sake of
Yeah.
my grades, that's funny.
For the sake of my grades, you don't know, it's the Asian parents. They want you to get the grades, even if you get scared by ghosts.
You might die, but it's worth that A plus, am I right?
Yes!
Ah.
You might die, but you go into university!
Hey.
So, on my way home that day, it was very quiet. I was the only person on the bus because nobody goes in and out of the army camps this late at night, and frankly, not many people would take the bus past the cemeteries.
Yeah.
It just so happened that this was the fastest route to my home, and I was just, being a typical teenager, glancing at my phone, looking out the window, and as it passed by an army camp, I looked out the window and I saw this man sitting at the bus stop. I don't recall what he looked like, and I don't recall how he was dressed. All I know is that he was set in this position that made him look like he was in despair. He was kind of hunched over,
Like
elbows
the
pressed
Shinji
to
Care
his
meme?
yeah, elbows to his knees, head hidden in his hands. And I was like, good heavens, why is this soldier? I mean, I assume he was a soldier because the army camp. Why is this
Yeah.
soldier in the middle of nowhere, just sitting there, and he's not flagging down the bus, and this is like the only bus. So I thought like maybe he didn't notice. I thought maybe I should press the bell so that the driver lets him in. So I glanced away for like a split second, and then just to check what the driver was doing, and I glanced back. There's no one there. And I was like, hold on a moment, because between the bus stop and the army camp there is a stretch of road. Even if he was running full pelt, he would not have been able to make the run from the bus stop to the camp. He would still be visible. This
No.
person entirely vanished from sight. He looked to be totally solid, but he vanished, and I was like, this is
Oh Jesus
this is
Christ!
a night.
What the fuck is wrong with your face? You
What,
scared
my
the
face?
shit out of me.
And I was
Okay,
like, okay, I'll pretend that I saw nothing, because that's what we're told to do.
Yeah, right.
Pretend you saw nothing, nothing is going on, nothing happened. If you ignore it, they will think that you didn't see them. Nothing happened. And then as the bus trundled along, the very next stop after that was near the Christian cemetery, and the bus stopped, and the driver opened the door, and nobody got on. And I looked at the driver through the rear view mirror, and he looked at me,
What?
and then
No, thank
he pressed the button to close the door, and we continue on. Neither of us said a damn thing
What?
until I got home.
Nope.
Oh,
That's right.
That's
Was
what I
my
got to say
grades
about
was
that.
it? No.
Did you continue to use that buzz afterwards?
I had no choice. I
Oh,
had
no.
to go.
Hey, but did you at least get good grades though?
No.
Oh no.
So it was worth nothing. It was all for nothing.
Yeah, it was all for that thing. It was just fear.
I just get a taxi
That's
every day
funny.
That
now.
one's a good one. That one's a good one. All right, tier list time. Where do we think we'll put Stelli's? Spooks for days, skin crawler, look behind you kind of deal. Not spooky enough, or I would scare the ghost.
I vote look behind you.
Look
Yeah.
behind you kind of deal.
Yeah.
But the thing is that in Southeast Asia, ghosts are just so much more real than in other places, where I feel like it deserves to be higher because I feel like you saw a real one, especially with the bus driver who like assumed he saw one too.
Yeah, I
you
guess you
say?
did have a witness. I guess
Yeah.
that's. I
Okay.
say I say skin crawler.
The skin crawler, skin crawler.
Yeah. Go up one.
But to be honest though, just looking at the way that the ghost was, like in full despair, I feel like I could bully the ghost.
Oh
You
no.
could bully the ghost.
It's
I did
sad.
Like
And you're the
Shinji.
bully.
What's that Shinji meme? I want to find
Or the
it.
chair meme.
The Shinji
Oh,
chair.
the chair
meme?
one.
Yeah, he was full on. Yeah, he was full on like that. He was just
Going through
in
it.
despair. He was going through it. I was
Let's see if I
like,
can put
damn,
it.
soldier.
Wait, I want to put that on my stream so you guys know what we're talking about. Where is it? Where is it? Here. The Shinji
Exactly, he was
Oh my
exactly
God.
in that pose. And that's
Oh,
why
no.
I'm fairly certain I could bully him.
could beat his ass.
I could beat his.
Okay, where should I put this? I'll delete. All right. Thank you. Who's next?
I guess it's me.
Thank you, Stelli. I hate it.
That was a really scary one. The fact that you have to just continue to go year after year doing that, or like day after day.
I'll be so
I
scared
would
to
have
look
stopped.
out.
I would have just like started walking home, even if it took me hours, everywhere beyond the graveyards.
I did think that maybe it's time to quit school.
Oh no.
Quit school. It's not worth it.
Yeah. My parents had serious sunk cost fallacy though. They were like, you've gone this far, you might as well finish it.
Everybody's looking for your downfall. Ayden, your girlfriend, your parents.
Oh no.
All right, I guess I can go next.
Mhm.
Mine is I pre-wrote this in a script because I'm not good at telling stories live. So if you excuse that. Okay. Let me get this set up. Okay. So, this is a story about a Hawaiian ghost called the Night Marcher. So, the Hawaiian Islands have a long history of life and death, sacrifice and ritual, and so the current islands have ley lines running through them. These ley lines are where ritual parades took place, paths carved from ancient Hawaiians walking to battle or worshipping the land. It's said that the Pali Highway on Oahu Island has multiple ley lines running through it, and it's incredibly dangerous and haunted. Keyword is haunted, very haunted. I never ever go to the Pali. Even in the daytime, I refuse. In particular, a parade of night marchers is common sightings leading to major historical battlegrounds in the area. So, these night marchers are ancient Hawaiian ghosts, often warriors carrying various weapons and marching to the beat of drums. The apparitions only appear on specific nights based on the moon and the season, but when they do appear, they make their presence known. At first, you hear the sound of distant drum beats, slow and steady, and then the sound grows closer, and you begin to hear the whispers of a chant in a language familiar to you, but unrecognizable. This is the recount of my uncle's real experience. So, he was sleeping over at a friend's house after a party. and his friend had told him in passing that his house was directly running through a ley line. Thinking nothing of it, my uncle went to sleep in one of the guest rooms. Sometime around midnight, he awoke to the sound of beats outside the window. At first, he thought it was someone launching aerial fireworks while partying late, making loud noise in the streets, and tried to go back to sleep. But instead of stopping after a while, it only got louder, like the party was running through the neighborhood until it got so distinct that it could only be crazily beating drums. It was at this moment that my uncle remembered about the ley line and tensed up, ready to hop out of bed and run if need be. But as a kid in Hawaii, you learn about these things early on and what to do if you encounter a night marcher. Lie flat on the ground, belly down with your arms protecting your head. Never make eye contact. So, my uncle thought he'd be safe on the bed and placed a pillow over his head. He waited, heart synchronizing to the frantic pounding of gourds and sharkskin drums and the cacophonic footsteps. It got so loud that it sounded like a train was passing by. And then my uncle was thrown to the ground.
Holy
If it
crap.
weren't for the pillow in his grasp, he would have knocked his head on the bedside dresser. He was scared out of his mind, but he forced his mouth shut and remained still where he fell. Luckily, the night marchers had only pushed him out of the way and hadn't taken an interest in him. Through his trembling eyelids, he could see the flashes of firelight from their torches going straight into the walls. Everything seemed to shake in tandem with their footsteps and raging war chant. It went on for a long time, what must have felt like hours, and then all of a sudden, silence. They had passed. Only the rumble of his unchecked breathing was left. The digital clock on the dresser, when he stood up to check, was frozen on 1:13 a.m. He rushed out to ask his friend if he had experienced anything, but his friend was deeply sleeping in the next room over. When he was shaken awake, he said he hadn't heard anything. The two rooms were separated by a mere 4-inch thick wall. The only evidence that it had truly happened to my uncle was the long bruise running from his left shoulder all the way down to his hip from the force of the spirits, and the clock frozen at 1:13 a.m. This happened a few years ago when he was still a college student. He said he kept the clock after that, but lost it after moving a few times. He hasn't been back to the Pali after dark for over 30 years now, and neither have I, and neither should you. That's my story.
No, no, I didn't. The sound effect you did made me jump so hard.
Yeah, I pounded my desk.
Oh, Lord.
Sorry,
not
I'm really
expecting it.
bad at reading scripts, so I've tripped over my words a few
It's
times.
okay. It's
No,
still
you did
scary.
No, it was
It's-
fantastic.
yeah, I was scared.
Yay! Okay, let's go to the tier list. Tier list time. Spooks for days, skin crawler, look behind you. Not spooky enough, and I would scare the ghost. By the way, this
Oh,
is a real
Spooks for
story.
days.
I didn't make this up.
Books for days.
Spooks for
I
days.
wouldn't mess with the night watchers.
Okay, spooks for days. Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
freaky.
The fact that it could happen
Yeah, no.
anytime
I
now
just-
still is so scary.
Okay, spooks for days. Yes.
They're,
I gotta tell my-
they are
I gotta
said
tell
to
my
be
uncle.
warriors, aren't they?
They are. Dude, Hawaiian
Yeah.
ghosts are so fucking scary. Even the gods, we have one god named Pele. Have you guys seen the movie Moana?
Yeah.
Like the Disney movie?
I
yeah.
have.
Yeah. So Pele is the Hawaiian version of Tefiti? I don't remember her name in the movie. The volcanic, like,
The
scary
lady,
ash
big lady.
volcano ghost. That is like the Polynesian version of the same type of god.
Mhm.
Dude, she is intense. There's so many stories about her because she's like fickle, and if you don't like praise her, she'll like curse you and shit like that. Ugh. As a kid in Hawaii, you get to hear so many things.
Oh, I've heard that there were people who like took rocks off, tourists who took rocks off like the
Yeah,
volcanoes in
yeah.
Hawaii, and they were cursed with bad luck or something.
Yeah, that's
Just
Pele.
things kept happening. Yeah.
We cannot do that.
Oh.
We cannot take any rocks. Not even just the volcano rocks, but rocks in general. Otherwise, you don't know what spirits are gonna come and mess you up.
That's crazy and scary.
It's scary, dude. Yeah, those ley lines are legit. There's like maps that they have drawn out of like the ley lines on my island. You really don't want to pass them at night. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
So let's just not go
Especially
Hawaii.
since like everyone knows about it.
Yeah.
Is it on Google
Alright.
Maps? It needs to be on Google Maps.
No, it's not on Google Maps.
Just ley lines.
I think it's scarier that everyone knows about it and agrees that this is definitely a thing that happens.
I wonder
Yeah,
if I can
that-
find it. What about Southeast Asia? Everybody knows about like the ghosts and stuff.
Oh yeah, like we know, but I don't think we have had like a whole cultural consensus on you know, like a group of entities like the night marchers.
I think most of it
Really?
is kind of circumstantial. There has to be the
Yeah,
right time, the
like-
right situation for it to happen.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
I see.
Chinese people believe that if you are unlucky, especially unlucky, that they say it's like the flames of your life or the flames of your luck are dim, and then that's when you come into encounters with spirits. But otherwise, you know, we don't have like mass sightings of a certain thing happening.
Oh shit, that's
Yeah.
freaky.
Yeah, the fact that everyone agrees, hey, don't take these rocks. That's scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then the fact that everyone agrees that you have to, you know, prostrate yourself when you hear the night marches. The fact that the night marches continue to still march
Yeah.
after centuries, that is a cultural legacy, and that's testament to the power of those spirits. Like holy crap.
Yeah.
I would not mess with them.
You don't want to mess with the Hawaiian ones. I think in Southeast Asia you can sort of get away with telling them to like fuck off if they're in your room, right? You cannot do that to the Hawaiian ones.
I think they'll, I don't know, carry you
You
off.
will get curb stomped. Those are like the Marines of Hawaii.
Oh no, they are.
Mainly because everybody on Hawaii is not Hawaiian, right? We're not locals there, technically, so we would be like scary
Oh.
foreigners, even though we live there all our lives,
Mhm.
compared to like the actual native Hawaiians, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna be spooked by my own story now.
Same.
All right, Yume, do you have one?
Yeah, I do have two. I'm just gonna see. I'm gonna share one and see if we have the time for the second one. Okay.
Okay.
So this is a story, an actual story that happened to myself. So a story from when I was a young child. We used to have a housekeeper, essentially a helper that lives in with us in the household to help with chores and everything. And like it was pretty normal for her to be helping around doing things. And with the first few weeks with her around, things were normal, but they were a little bit suspicious. No, usually you would think theft would be like the most red flag thing, like they could probably be stealing from you. But this was another sort of red flag that we noticed. And I was a young kid, so I didn't notice it, but my parents did. But you know, kids are clumsy. We fall, we run, we get up, we are fine. But it was odd that I was getting bruises, okay, scratches out of nowhere, without doing anything. And there are times where I seem to be unsteady on my own feet and seem to have been pushed over by something or someone. We don't know what it was, okay, it was weird. And there was also one incident which I very clearly remember. It's like it's a core memory now at this point. It was when I was in my room with my sister. We were watching, I think, you know, the big brown house bear thing. I can't remember the cartoon name, but we were watching that. It was normal show happening, but out of nowhere there was this disembodied voice, a male voice, very deep male voice saying hello. And we were shook because there couldn't be from the show, because we did rewind back to check the tape to see if was it something from the show or anything, but it wasn't. So out of nowhere, there was just a male voice. It spooked us, and we didn't dare to finish what we were watching. Just ran out. That's one spooky thing. The third thing, the third thing that we noted was, do you know those like ball pit tent thing? You know, where little kids play in. So I had one of those as a kid, and on one of the walls of the tent, we had a bloodied handprint, like a small child's bloodied handprint. So it wasn't me, or it wasn't my sister. We just don't know where it appeared, because obviously when your parents see something happening, oh no, bloodied handprint, who's hurt? No, none of us. It was just there. Then we, simply clean it up, thinking nothing of it. But I guess there was the point where it was really, really suspicious. And one time, I think I actually saw what it was in my own home. So I'm actually in the same spot in the area. So if you guys don't know, I'm in my kitchen. My kitchen has the bathroom. So as a kid, when I was showering, once opening the door, I saw a little girl. We have many little girls today. We have a little girl that was smiling. She looked pretty normal. She actually looked like me, which is very odd. So it was just in clothes that I had. And I thought, maybe it's my imagination or not, but it was kind of creepy. She just stared, looked at me, and next thing I know, she ran off. She just ran out. She disappeared. I thought maybe we had some other children, maybe the neighbors over or something, but nah. We don't know where the kid came from. I told my parents. We are kind of freaked out at this point. And they brought me to, I guess, a temple where we kind of are able to ask gods essentially what is happening and all. Then only at that point that did we realize what was happening. So we quickly fired the helper and found out that she actually is practicing some sort of witchcraft. So
What?
yeah, so what she does is I would say prevalent in Asia. It's not common. I won't really say it's common, but some of you guys may heard of the terms. So in Chinese, it's called yang xiao gui. Okay, or in Malay, it's also called toyol. Again, it's most likely a Thai thing. Or you can, if you hear of kumantong. Yeah, so essentially what that is they have an effigy of a child. Usually they are dolls of a young child that may contain parts of a dead unborn child. Or
Like a voodoo doll?
yeah, essentially a voodoo doll. But they trap the children's soul into the doll. And that is supposed to bring in luck, love, any reason they can do to they keep it as a companion. They treat them as an actual child. They feed it, they clothe it, they do everything they want in chance where they can bring them luck and everything else. So the spooky part about this is that the maid, the helper that we had, she owned this doll, and we didn't know about it until later. And what she was actually trying to do in my family was actually trying to insert herself into the parental role. So I don't recall it happening, but my mom has told me that I have actually been prompted by the helper to call her mom instead. So she was trying to seduce my father and getting me to acknowledge her as my mother so she could take over the role. So it was like that kind of level of voodoo witchcraft, which is kind of spooky because, the adult is spooky, but there's a ghost child in the house. and till this point, I'm still scared of the kitchen, which I'm currently in right now. No. The ghost child. But yeah, so we quickly, cleansed the whole house, did everything, and so far nothing weird has happened since then. No more ghost child, not that I can see. Hopefully I don't see anything tonight, but yeah, that's the story.
Oh my god. I'm glad you're safe.
No.
Like
So
even
I know a bit about all of this.
Yeah.
In terms of like the cultural and the folkloric aspects. So I mean, if you're okay with it, I could give like a little explainer.
Oh please,
Yeah, go
please.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so The Thai phrase "kumantong" is actually translate to mean golden child, and it's said that this is one of the skills or the black magic skills that is prevalent in Southeast Asia.
Mhm.
Um, because you don't know, there are some legends about why Southeast Asia is so prevalent and has so much black magic, but Kumantong is or Toyo is something that is found not just in one country, but it's present in the entire region, which suggests that it's a practice that has been around for centuries
Yeah, it just takes up
before
different shapes and
before
names.
Southeast Asia divided into the different countries. And initially the practice was again, similar to what you may say, for people to keep the spirit of a child or an infant. These days, it's supposedly like aborted infants or miscarried children, but in the
okay.
past, it could be
Your own child.
yeah, your own child, or like someone in the village who got murdered, or like sudden infant death, and they would keep these spirits to bring good fortune and good luck. The spirits are bound through rituals and chants to provide a service to the owner, to the parent, and the infants, the spirits are said to treat the owner as their parent. So the thing that is really very scary about this child spirits is that they are utterly innocent, right? They don't
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
right from wrong because they passed away before they could be taught values and ethics and morals.
Right.
And so they are willing to do anything to make their parent happy. So there have been stories um, over the decades, over the centuries, about how people have used these little infants to kill, to steal, to enchant other people, just like how the maid tried to do that to Yume's family. And there are different classes of this. Toyos are said to be more on the malevolent side, but the golden child, the Kumantong in Thailand, you can get good ones that are bound by Buddhist monks, and they are said to provide service for you in exchange for accumulating merit so that they can be reincarnated as proper
Right.
children.
Okay.
And while I think that yes, it's very scary and it's very creepy, I think at the end of the day there is an underlying tragedy, right? It's
Yeah, because these
a story
kids are
of a child,
dead. Right.
who could not live.
You know what I heard that is worse? They also do that to, okay, it's how you say they have taken unborn or miscarriage child, but they are actually, I've heard that they are actually purposely stealing from the hospitals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Children?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
The-
they're stealing children for this?
The
in the
bodies,
Like alive
in-
children?
no dead ones.
Yes. Dead ones, yeah. There are cases where that happens, and this gets a little bit dark.
Yeah, it's a
but
bit it's a bit fucked up.
yeah, in Thailand, I think I say recently, but it might be as far back as like the 2000s. So that there are cases of people doing like illegal abortions and things like that. And there was this huge case in Thailand where the illegal abortions and things like that, they found out.
Oh yeah, the owner sold the bodies, right?
Yeah, it was improperly handled. So
What?
it's not at all unlikely that someone unscrupulous would have might have chanced upon a business idea.
No.
Which is sad for those
Decided to
kids, you
sell.
know. They're bound
That's
and you
Yeah.
can't do
so
anything.
fucked.
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
dang.
It is.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my god.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's terrible.
Okay, knowing this context and what happened to Yume, where are we putting this on
Oh,
the
no.
tier list?
Oh, we're throwing it to the top. Spooks for days.
Yeah.
For days. Spooks for days.
Definitely
That's so
spooks for days.
real. That's scary. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's just. Oof.
It's not only scary, it's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm.
incredibly fucked up. Oh my god. Okay. Does anybody else have other stories?
I have another one, but it didn't happen to me. It happened to a really good friend of mine.
Okay. Go for it.
This one. Hold up, I gotta suit up for this one. I'm getting really scared now.
I'm scared.
Tension.
Tension.
So, this one happened to my good buddy, and he had just moved into a new apartment. And he said that the second he moved into the apartment, he always felt like somebody was watching him.
Hate those.
Yeah,
No.
and one particular night, apparently he stayed up late because he was playing some new game that had come out on his Xbox. I can't remember the game.
Mhm.
And he said that for a second, he kind of stopped playing, put his controller down, and he was on his phone before he decided to go to bed. Well, he said that the Xbox and the TV were right next to where the closet is, just a little door to the side. And he had left that open because he was going to school and he had his book back there and he just forgot to close it. Well, he said he looked up from his phone and he saw this little black figure kind of peeking through the door at him.
Was it a little girl?
No, not the little girls.
Hopefully not. He said what he described to me is that it looked like it kind of looked like a hunched over old man, but it was so small. He said that it wasn't even up to his knee.
Oh no.
Ugh.
Old
So-
man.
Yeah, he said that he kind of like was doing something in the closet and he looked up. The little thing looked up and saw him and noticed that he saw him. And this is the part that said that messed him up because he couldn't really like explain this. So he had his Xbox and his the power cord was kind of stretched out on the floor so he could reach the outlet.
Mhm.
Well, apparently this little thing was smart enough to step over the cord so that it wouldn't knock it over. So it kind of backed up into the closet while stepping in over the cords.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then it just kind of, and apparently my buddy saw that and he said he dipped out. He said he left. He said he wasn't even wearing pants. He was in his boxers. He said he ran out the door straight to his car and just left. But that was the
What the
that was the
fuck?
only other thing.
I would burn that
He had a
closet
whole
down.
Menehune in his house.
Yeah, I don't.
A
Oh
little
man, yeah,
Smurf.
Oh no, it's more.
exactly.
He had Grandpa Smurf in his house.
Yeah, you never want Grandpa Smurf in your house.
That's fucking-
if it really gets onto it, I think you can kick it, you know. Just push.
You say kick it?
In a panic, you know. Oh
Punt
no.
That's the Pharaoh Southeast Asian in us now. It's just if it's smaller than me, we'll punt it. We'll fight them spirits. Yeah.
Where was that? United States?
Yeah, that was in the United States. That's where we're at.
Where would that? What could that be? I'm trying to think of all the folklore in the different areas because
Goblins.
in Hawaii we have
Gremlins.
a specific spirit that like is small, like really small, like that, and we call them menehune, and they're like really well known too. But
Huh.
also in like European mythology, there's like little brownie spirits, and they're called brownies, and they're like fairies and they're small. So I'm trying to figure out what could that be, unless there's like a Native American version.
I'm not entirely sure. Now we're both Mexican, and we have one called duendes, which are like little, like elf little things that like to play pranks.
Wait, I saw a Have you seen the TikTok of like this guy playing a ball indoors, and then like the ball moves to the dark corner, and then the guy pans the camera, and there's like a little fucking thing that's like
Yes.
standing there running around.
Yes,
Oh.
that's kind of the idea. Yes.
The guy kicked it.
Oh my god! I know they kicked it.
I want to find that TikTok. That's so funny.
You need to share it.
Yeah, that's yeah, but for us, that'd be the closest thing. I don't know if
Holy
the U.S. specifically has like one of folklore for that.
Everybody got some kind of little small thing in the house, huh?
Exactly, just
Yeah.
playing
Funny.
pranks.
Like African rooted tales. Yeah. Let me pull up the tier list. That is Ayden's story part 2, which we put
I'm
that one.
officially free from captivity.
Yeah.
Hey.
Welcome.
I
I'm gonna-
need it.
I want to say just because you could easily kick the shit out of it, I don't want to put I would scare the ghost.
Yeah, 100%. It's spooky,
Fair.
but I will kick it.
I would scare the
Yeah.
shit out of that ghost.
That's
That
funny.
one's good. That one's good. Okay, welcome, Mara.
Hey, Mara.
Is my fan audible in the background?
No,
No.
you're all good.
Okay.
Do you want to introduce yourself really quick?
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm Mara Evantree. I stream on YouTube. I'm very sleepy right now, so sorry if I sound dead inside.
No, don't worry. It's 9 a.m. for America right now, right?
Yeah, it's about to be
Yep.
10, but I usually wake up at 11, so
Fair. I usually wake up at 12 when it's a weekend.
Same.
Do you have a story you'd like to share with us?
yes, but it is I think a little bit like on the longer side. It's not super long, but
That's all right. Let's hear it.
okay, let me clear my throat. I need to try and sound spooky.
Okay.
The sun was setting over the campus, casting long shadows across the pathways as I walked alone towards the older building nestled amidst the trees. It was around 6 or 7 p.m., and the campus was quieter than usual at this time, as it often was. As I strolled, a shiver ran down my spine, and I couldn't shake the feeling that someone was following me. Every time I glanced over my shoulder, though, the path behind me remained empty. Pushing aside my unease, I finally reached the older science building where my friends were waiting. The building was on the older side of our buildings on campus, but it had the environmental science lab, and my friend likes working there, so we used to hang out there a lot. We decided to settle ourselves on the third floor hallway seating, right next to the observatory. The air felt heavy with anticipation as we chatted and laughed, but the flickering lights above us added an unsettling ambiance to our gathering. Basically, this building is like really, really old. It's not like the oldest thing ever. Like, it's not like, I don't know, a 1800s building or something.
Yeah.
But it's like one of the older buildings that we have on our campus. So, at night, the lights just act really weird, and like, there's a lot of off vibes in the general area. So it's like, you're just be walking near the building, and it just feels like there's something watching you. It's so weird.
You go to the Phasmophobia school.
For real. As the conversation continued, I couldn't help but recount the strange sensation of being followed on my way there. My friends chuckled and teased me, suggesting that the campus ghost had decided to take a stroll. And we laughed it off, but our laughter held a bit of nervousness, as if we were all trying to convince ourselves that it was just a joke. One of the distant chairs caught my eye. Basically, like, the seating area has, like, these couches, and then there's a second side of the seating area across from the elevator that's closer to the observatory and also to the fire escape door. And that one, there's, like, chairs and little tables. And a chair was, like, pulled out. So we were like, that's fucking creepy. And we pushed in the chair because we were like, oh, no. Like, as if somebody was sitting in the chair, it was pulled out. So, in an attempt to dispel the uneasy feeling, we pushed the chair back in. It was as though we were trying to create a barrier, a shield against the invisible presence that was just sitting and staring at us.
Ugh.
we then like started talking about our own spooky stories. My friend grew up in a Latin American country. So he basically was like he was going over all of his little spooky stories like skinwalkers and stuff like that.
Ooh.
And we were just laughing and screaming and hugging each other, and it was fun. Good fun between college students with the sound of the heaters running in the background because it was like late fall going into winter. So 5 o'clock, everything gets dark. 6 o'clock, pitch black. Eventually, the atmosphere grew a bit tense, and then out of the corner of my eye, I saw the chair slowly moving again. So that was so creepy.
No.
My heart raced as I stared, frozen, watching the chair fully slide out from under the table of its own accord. Nothing there. Nobody is in this building but us. All of the deans of the department have left. So I was like, guys, we need to go. That chair just moved. And everybody else just got up and ran immediately for the elevator.
I just went for the stairs.
Where are you
Nope.
going? Come back.
Nope.
I'm vanishing.
The descent felt like an eternity. When the elevator doors finally opened on the ground floor, we spilled out, gasping and screaming as if we had just escaped a confined nightmare. We also were giggling maniacally because what else do you do in that situation aside from nervously laugh at like the fact that a ghost might be trying to kill you?
Yeah.
True.
We looked back up at the third floor window, half expecting to see someone watching us from behind the glass. The building was once a place of historical charm, but now, in our minds, it was the ghost building, a place of inexplicable unease and paranormal occurrences. From that day on forward, our hangout spot shifted to the library because it was newer, and the bright lights and bustling atmosphere offered a stark contrast to the eerie happenings in the older building. Also, there was Starbucks.
Yes, Starbucks.
We would occasionally share stories with the other students, warning them about the third floor and the unexplained phenomena that seemed to awaken after dark. As the sun dipped below the horizon each evening, the older building would transform, its windows becoming dark eyes in the night, its halls seemingly echoing with whispers from its past. Flickering lights, phantom footsteps, strange noises became synonymous with that place, and we learned to avoid it after hours. The campus had a new legend, one that we would whisper about, that would pass the students all over. And even though we had relocated our gatherings to the library, we couldn't shake the feeling that the ghostly presence still lingered, forever haunting the halls of the older building after dark.
Wow. That's
Wow.
good. That's freaky. I don't like that.
Guys, it's early in the morning for me. This is gonna be on my mind all day.
Oh no.
At least it's morning, it's night for a lot of us.
I will also say that, so basically my campus is actually built on like Native American ground.
Oh,
so like
no.
Of
where
course it is. Of course.
Oh no.
Native Americans were like literally slaughtered. And on top of that, we this might actually kind of mildly dox me, so I'm not gonna go into specifics, but a lot of really big American wars took place right where our school is.
Oh,
So-
dear.
Lots of people died where our school buildings are, so it kind of makes sense why there would be spooky things. Another creepy thing that happened in that building one night, this is just a small one-off, but like, this is like when I officially swore off the building. I went to go check on my friend because he was like, he works in the lab, so he's usually always in there. So I went to go check on him. I brought him food to see if he was okay because he likes to sleep there for some reason. And I brought him something to snack on, and I heard just chains in the
Oh,
hallway,
no.
and it was so dark,
No.
and I was like, nope,
No.
never mind.
Turn the other way.
Just place
I
it
was
on
like,
the
I
floor
am leaving.
and run.
Someone in my chat said early US moment.
Oh no.
Very true.
It just sounded like there were chains dragging on the floor, and like nobody was in the building. Like after like 5, everybody basically leaves. The deans all leave. All the cleaning people are done for the night in there because it's like the easiest building to clean on campus. So like they always finish it early. So like the fact that you can hear people moving around, but when you check, there's nobody there is always so creepy.
The fact that your friend still went back there and slept is nuts to me.
Yeah.
He has a problem. He has a problem. It's funny because he always is the one who's getting like hexed and stuff. Like he's found like cursed stuff inside of his room
What the
like
fuck do you
multiple
mean by that?
times. So like he literally like he has found like just little bags of like bones and hair and stuff in his room before.
Excuse
like-
me?
No.
I think he's immune
Like
at this
I
rate.
swear he's just being hexed at all times. He's always being cursed. Cause he'll like injure himself and then the next day he'll check his room and there will be some shit in there.
Someone's
Wow.
up to get him. What the fuck?
Yeah.
No,
Somebody
thank
does
you.
not like him.
Just like Ayden, it's the non-believer bonus. You don't die for spooky shit because you don't believe.
Yeah, right.
The thing is that he believes it, but he's just like, nah, I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me.
The fact
Fucking
that
Lowe's
you
got
went
me
back there
fucked
to
up,
give
not
him
these ghosts.
snacks.
Hey,
That's
I was
funny.
heading home, and it's like right next to the parking lot.
I will
Nah,
leave the
I would have
snacks
been
in
like,
the
sorry,
parking
fam,
lot.
you can starve.
Nah, leave it in the
No,
parking
no.
lot. Call him to pick it up.
God. All right, rating this on the tier list. We'll
By
put
the way, I'm going back to school in like 2 weeks, so
No.
let's pray that people
Yeah.
doesn't get me again.
keep us updated with the chains in the hallway.
It's okay, you'll have more stories for us now.
Where are we putting this one? Spooks for days, skin crawler, look behind you kind of deal. Not spooky enough, or I would scare the ghost.
I say skin crawler.
Skin crawler?
Yeah.
Okay, skin crawler. We got 3 skin crawlers. That one was scary, actually. I don't like that you could see the chair actually come out.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing
They
to
tried
like
to,
turn
like-
away and the chair is
Comes
out
flying
and
at
you didn't
you.
see it happen, but watching it happen is fucking insane.
And it was crazy
Yeah.
because like I was the only one who noticed it was moving, and I pointed, and then everybody else saw that it was pushed out again, and they were like, "What the fuck?"
We gotta go. Oh god. Alright, does anybody have any others? Otherwise, we are going to move into the viewer submitted stories.
Oh, I have one school related one.
Oh, go for it, go for it.
Okay. So this happens in the same year that my first story happens. I was just having a really bad year.
Oh no.
Grades
So,
and ghosts.
Yeah, I was in like the weeb club at my school.
The weed club?
The weeb
Weeb.
club.
Oh, the weeb
Weeb.
club.
Yeah, the
Weeb.
weeaboo club. So
Where I was too.
yeah, so we were all just hanging out, and there was no anime to watch, and we were like, what do we do? Then I was like, oh well, since it's the 7th lunar month, it's this is either a week or before or after the first story.
Oh god.
So I clearly have learned no lessons about not messing with spirits. It's like, since it's the 7th lunar month, right? And I read on this blog spot, damn, now I'm aging myself. On this blog spot, right, of this like ritual game that you can play.
Oh no.
And it's like Japanese, so we can play it. And then they were like, what? Okay, sure. And then I said, and the ritual we were gonna play was Hyaku Monogatari. The 100 Stories game. And look, that ritual was like clearly like set out. You had to light 100 candles around you and things like that, and that was supposed to be like a protective barrier against spirits. And so you have the candles there, and everyone, as they tell the story, the candles are in a circle around you, and as you tell the stories, within that group of friends, everyone kind of puts out a candle until the room is completely dark, and then the ghost is said to appear. However, this was impromptu. We were in school. We were staying late in school
For that, by
because
the way.
the study thing was happening, and none of us wanted to go and study.
That's how
And
it
we
be.
Sure.
and we had no candles, so I was like, you know what? It's probably not gonna happen anyway. We'll just we just tell the stories. We just try to get to 100 stories and see what happens, I guess.
This is like the kids who scream Bloody Mary in the mirror.
Yeah.
Sleepover.
Hey, I
And
remember
so
that.
so all of us fools, all of us, sat in the empty classroom with the lights off, with no ritual candles, and we started telling these stories. Initially it was okay, but then as we continued to tell them, I think by the third or fourth story we were starting to notice some little things. People started to see like things from the corner of their eye. More than one person saw at the same time, like a shadow move outside the windows, across the windows, and we were all like,
Let's continue.
"Yo, this is getting a little bit serious," and we were all kind of on the fence on like, should we finish the ritual, or should we
Yes.
get the fuck out?
That's when you dip. There's no question. You just leave.
Nah, that's when you continue.
Yeah, but
at
like,
least you light
as
on.
teenagers, you have more more balls than brain cells.
Exactly.
So all of us were young, dumb, and we continued to tell the stories. We got until about 25. And then someone was like, why is this room somehow way darker than the surrounding darkness? And we were like, come on, don't fuck around with that. Nah, no way. But as we looked around, we realized it was indeed darker in the room than outside. And we were like, and then we started spotting, like the shadows flickering, and to be fair, it was probably just freaked out teenagers. But we saw things moving around. We saw like shadows flickering and things like that, and we were like, there's nothing to create any kind of light or anything, any kind of weird light effects or anything like that. But here we were seeing things move in this entirely dark room that was somehow darker than the darkness outside. And we were like, y'all, pack your bags.
We are gone.
I
Yeah,
have no
and-
idea how you Southeast Asian people continue to fuck with ghosts, man.
And all of
Yeah.
us, we all packed our bags. And then we were like, the ghosts thus far, they are outside of the classroom. So if we are going to escape to the bright lights of the canteen, we're gonna have to pass the ghosts to get to the canteen. And then we were like, shit. And we were like, yo, because there's an odd number of us and we don't want any of us to get stolen by the spirits, here's what we'll do. We'll walk in a circle
How do you walk in the circle?
to the canteen. And we'll make sure that all of us are present so that no one vanishes. So
Ah, see, that's my-
this bunch of 17 and 18-year-olds were all walking hand in hand like a bunch of like nursery school kids on a school vacation or a school field trip. When we got to the canteen, the other students studying were all looking at us like, yo, what the fuck?
That's why
We
you
don't wanna know
sacrifice
what
the
we're doing.
slowest friend. Take one for the
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, but that year of my life was particularly gnarly with like spirits and weird things being seen because my school was said to be haunted.
Of course it was.
It
Of
was
course.
it was built near like a waterway, and Asian culture says
Oh, yeah.
spirits will hang around
water.
bodies of water.
Yeah,
And-
of course it was.
And then beyond the waterway, there was a railway track. And just a few, and every once in a while, an accident happens at the railway tracks. So
That's right, good for us.
everybody knew like this school is messed up. Nobody would stay if they didn't have to. And it was so messed up that in a school of I think maybe 1,000, a few hundred students, there would never be a situation where everybody was completely well. And that what I mean by that is everywhere you went, there was at least one or two kids who had broken their bones, fallen in some weird accident or something like that, and then they broken their bones, and they were like in huge, massive casts, and we were like, "Yo, it's your turn. It's your turn this
It's your
time."
turn.
Jesus Christ! And you decided to fuck with ghosts.
Yeah, and I decided to hold Hyaku Monogatari.
Oh my God, Laura is
like
saying
if I had like at least a little bit of like that senseless recklessness that my teenage self had, I would probably be doing a lot more with my life right now. Instead of being
You'd have
like
been dead.
the salaried employee.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, we were mad kids.
Ghostland.
Yeah.
Ghostland everywhere. I don't have a place to put another tier list because you already have yours. It's in
Oh, don't
Skin
about it.
Crawler, but I think that's a good place to keep it, huh? Skin Crawler.
Yeah.
Skin crawler.
All right, let's move on to the viewer submitted stories. Yay!
I'm scared. The viewers tend to have the scarier ones.
Okay.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
Yeah.
This one is by Q-Tip. Nice
Q-Tip.
name.
Cute it.
Okay. I used to see Shadowmen all the time as a child. At the time, I didn't know they were a staple spook that was well documented online. I just continued to see them from the ages of 7 to 12 like they were my personal demons. There were usually two of them every time they showed up. One wearing a very discernible 50s style fedora hat, and the other just a humanoid shape with no features. Both had red eyes, but they were like car headlights or a blurry laser pointer than actual eyes. From what I remember, they would show up in dark rooms at any time of the day and would only stay for a few milliseconds. They never moved, just simply watched me. They only appeared in mirror reflections too, not in the real space that I could reach out and touch. I don't know if that's a relief or even creepier, since a lot of paranormal investigators say that mirrors are portals that ghosts and demons enter through. Probably the last time I remember seeing Shadowmen was washing my hands at a bathroom in broad daylight, and one flashed by in the background of an adjacent dark room. When I later decided to look it up when I was older, I was immediately creeped out that they were a popular phenomenon in ghost sightings. Some theorize that they are time travelers who are accidentally glitching into our reality 1 millisecond at a time, which is why they're always stationary. Maybe if I kept seeing them into adulthood, they could be in different positions than my childhood. I haven't seen them for a long time now, but every time I look into the bathroom mirror that reflects a darkened space, I wonder if they'll reappear. Ooh, thank you,
Q-Tip.
Q-Tip.
Q-Tip, you gotta chill, man.
Yeah, imagine if every time you saw them, they were like getting closer.
Oh no.
Oh, why would you
wow.
say that? I got a
That's
shower
through your
still. Let me look at a
lifetime,
mirror.
Oh no.
They're called nulls, and they gather in places where there's more than normal amount of energy. See, I guess they are a well-recorded spook. That's crazy that Q-Tip saw it all the time.
Can I have one come to my house? I have a abnormal amount of energy.
No.
Yeah.
That's
I
funny,
want
I've-
a trophy.
Where
I've
are
heard
we?
of them.
I
but
saw
I've
one
never,
before.
like- yeah, shadow people and the gnolls. I've heard of it, but I've never, heard
Seen
anyone
one?
say they've seen one. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen one. Not that
I
I
see.
remember.
They're probably already there.
Oh no.
Okay, where are we putting Q-Tip's story? Spooks for days, Skin crawler,
Spooks
look
for
behind you.
days.
That's spooks
Put
for days?
it,
Are you kidding
I
me?
think look
You look in a
behind
mirror,
you
you don't
at
think you're gonna
most.
see a shadow, peoples?
Oh,
I
I
would
hate
look behind
mirrors.
you. I mean,
Behind you at
super
most.
scary, but
Yeah,
it's
look
not like,
behind you.
you know. All right,
Man,
we're
y'all
Like,
are
I'm
putting
not
that
gonna
brave.
pee myself.
look behind you.
I already peed myself like 5 times throughout this whole stream.
Is that what you like?
Not
Oh,
necessarily, but
damn.
Sorry,
you're fine.
I have a very sussy sense of humor. I
It's okay.
apologize.
I love it.
Okay, our next one is from someone aptly named Lycoris Watcher. Which one
Lycrois
of you
Watcher.
was it? Okay, this one says, you reminded me of the time I went to Hokkaido around 2015, and we stayed at a really fancy olden style ryokan. A ryokan is like a Japanese style inn. It looks like an old time inn. The building was luxury and had amazing onsens, but the rooms were modeled after the Japanese aesthetic. Tatami, floor futons that you had to unroll yourself every night, that whole deal. Well, on the first night, I slept right next to the shoji, which is a door, that led to the staircase down, and I was awake at 2 a.m. because of jet lag. All of a sudden, I heard footsteps on the stairs slowly coming up. Like, not random wood creaks, but I genuinely thought my mom had gone to the bathroom or something. But I also didn't remember hearing anyone get up to go. I had my eyes glued to the shoji to see if a shadow would appear, because the steps were getting closer and louder, but there wasn't a window, so it was nearly pitch dark no matter how hard I strained to see movement. By the way, shoji, if you don't know, they are these like lattice doors, so there's like a special type of paper that it's made out of, so you can clearly see when like a shadow passes by or light or something like that. So like that's freaky. Where was I? Oh. Right before it reached the top, and coincidentally only a few feet from my head, my survival instinct kicked in and I pretended to be asleep. See no evil, hear no evil. The footsteps stopped immediately. You know that feeling of your stomach feeling like it's about to lift you off the ground from nerves right before a jump scare you know is coming? I had that for goddamn until the sun came up at 5 a.m. When I asked my family the next morning who went to the bathroom, everyone said they slept straight through the night. After that, let's just say I forced my sister to sleep in the same futon as me, as far away from the door as possible. Yay!
No, yay. That was
Wait, get out.
that's scary.
I want to know what happened on like the next days. That's freaky. I don't like that. Now you just crazy. I personally hate that story.
But at the least they didn't
It's
see
so
anything.
scary.
You know, if they did see things, oh god.
Okay,
just-
where are we putting this one?
I think it's just scarier when people have witnesses. When they can say, yeah, this person was there with me when it
When
happened.
people have
Oh, yeah.
witnesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scarier because
yeah,
there's more
with-
people see it.
Yeah. And
I
then
guess
you
witness
can't like
exactly
put
the
it
goal.
down to like a wild imagination. You have to just be like, that happened.
It happened, yeah. We have look behind you, and I would scare the ghost. I don't know. I'm pretty freaked out about that one. Like, if I heard that in real life, I don't think I could fuck the ghost up. I would die. What
I
do you
thought
guys
you were
think?
about to say something else, but
Oh
Fuck
no.
the ghost? No.
Beep beep.
Look
monster fucker
behind you.
detected.
Look behind you? Okay, that's a look behind you kind of thing. I don't like that. How it just disappeared. Because, like, what if you're pretending to sleep and then, like, you peek your eyes open and
Oh,
it's
it's
just
beside
standing at
you.
your
Oh
bed?
no. I hate that. No.
I hate that.
bro, that sounds like
I hate
me
that.
and him might be going on a date later.
I think
Okay.
only
Like, if you
you.
want him to bed, you at least gotta take me out to dinner first, sir.
Okay, Mara, you can fuck your demons and no one's
I
dead.
am a demon myself, so maybe I'm just not as scared because I know these guys personally.
Your buddy.
Yeah, they go to school with you.
Oh god.
We all hang out, bro.
Okay, this next one's kind of long. It's from Hint. The name is Hint.
Hint.
Okay. First of all, I don't know how to explain without the full context, so I'm really sorry if you decide to read this. So, during my time as a student council committee in middle school, we held a camping event with heavy teacher supervision. One of the activities we planned was having the students to split off into groups and walk around to different posts and do challenges. Since I was one of the few people that used to hike, the teacher put me together in a post that is furthest away from the camping site. Although the furthest away, the post wasn't too far away from a big pre-made trail road, so it should be easy to find our way back. The trail was a dead end, too, so there's no way you can, and then it cuts off, I assume it says get lost. On the way to the post, I noticed that there was a small plot of land in between the trees with a few stone slabs to stand on the ground, and arranged to look like gravestones. It doesn't really help that there is a raised layer of soil covered heavily with fallen leaves in front of every stone. I pointed this out to my teacher jokingly, expecting that it was a setup for the test of courage. Our teacher then proceeded to stop walking, turns around to look at the assistant teacher and told us, "It wasn't there when we checked again yesterday." But alas, our post was left alone and we went on with our activities, while paying attention to the assumed gravestones. Sometime along the day, a few people from different groups arrived to our post to do some challenges, and while taking turns, sat down on the stone. And then, parentheses, nobody apart from our post realized that it looked like a grave. And every person we saw that sat down or had put their foot on the gravestone had leg pain or an injury the moment they left the post. Nearing the end of the day, the student council leader was going to get us, and while it wasn't dark, the sun was setting, so we prepared ourselves to go back. When the council leader was near us, she somehow walked past the turn to our post and continued on to the trail. We called out to her, but she wasn't reacting, so one of the people in my post ran to get her. When they arrived back to my post, she said, "What calling? I didn't hear anyone calling my name." We discussed for a bit about what just happened, the council leader laughing and clueless while the people in the post were staring at each other in fear. Right before we left the post, we all started smelling jasmine and kanaga flowers. FYI, in C, jasmine means that a spirit is nearby, and the area we specifically are, it means death, and that's in parentheses. So we took it as our cue to go back. The moment we left the post, the sky turned dark really quickly, and the smell became really strong, and we heard rocks falling on the trail behind us. We just ran. We didn't even look back. To this day, that whole incident remains a secret for the people on the post. For the people on the post that day. Not a single person had said anything about that day after that, minus me and my best friend, who talked about it one time after that. But to this day, nobody really knows any more details than what we already know. That's crazy.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
I want to go.
No, thank you.
Stop trying to fuck ghosts, Mara.
Mara's on a mission.
I'm just saying, he sounds like a really cool guy. I don't know.
Mara's on a
The
mission
dead one that
to get out of
caused
ghosts.
middle schoolers to have injuries on their legs?
I mean, middle schoolers injure themselves all the time.
I guess.
I guess. Yeah.
Sure. All right, where are we putting
Doesn't hurt
hints?
to get injured a little.
I
feel
say
like
skin crawler.
that was a skin crawler?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a skin crawler? Okay. I was feeling it's not spooky enough, but I don't like how the camper lady was like, "What? I didn't hear you guys calling me." Like,
Yeah,
She
that was
sounds like
the good
something
part.
I would do. I feel like she was trolling high-key. She was pretending because she could tell that they were freaked out. Because that's honestly something I would
Aw.
do. I'd ignore my friends on purpose, and then they'd be like, "How come you didn't respond?" And I'd be like, "Oh, you guys were saying something?"
what? Were you? All right, man.
Like, it feels like a troll, but it's funny. I like it.
Okay. Our next story, we have 7 by the way. Our next story is by Ify DM.
I might
very
mute to go use the bathroom.
Okay.
I got a pee-pee.
Okay,
Fun.
don't find any spirits on your way back.
I'll
Don't
tell
fuck
you
any
if I do,
spirit.
but it'll probably just be a roach instead.
Okay. Very interesting how she's not as scared of ghosts, but is scared of roaches. That's a choice. That's a personal choice, I feel.
How fucking dare!
How about you go to the bathroom? Don't listen in.
I mean, to be fair, roaches have survived a very long time, so.
You know what would
Oh,
be
if a roach
scary?
flies at me, that's
Ghost
it. I'm done for
roaches.
the day.
We're over. Alright, this one's by Ify DM. Short story about my experience. When I was a child, it was early morning and I felt a hand on my shoulder, like someone nudged me. Maybe it was my mom telling me to move over. I was still sleepy, so I fell back to sleep. But when I woke up later, I realized that the side of my shoulder was nudged. What? Hold on. There's like wrong grammar here. But when I woke up later, I realized that the side my shoulder was nudged on was the edge of the bed. I asked my mom and she didn't do it. So I assume they're sharing the bed and then the mom is on the inside of the wall while she's on the outside of the wall.
Okay. I was trying to figure out what they meant by that.
Yeah, I think they're sharing a bed. The mom is closer to the wall and she's on the outside of the bed, like with the back facing the edge of the bed.
Okay.
So someone on the edge of the bed like
Touch
was
her.
touching
Yeah.
and it wasn't the
Nudged
mom.
them.
That was a little bit confusing, but I get it now. That's what happens when you turn your back to the edge.
Oh
I
no,
never
now
knew
I
that.
can't sleep later.
True.
I know.
Alright, where are we labeling this one? This one
Let's
wasn't
see.
too bad. It was very short and sweet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very to the point.
I would say not spooky enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
I
spooky
vote
enough.
that.
Okay. I mean, I bet in the moment it's kind of freaky, but yeah. Alright, our next one is by Kato. This one's a little bit long and it has little pictures in it.
There's pictures?
Not pictures, but you know how when you're typing you can kind of make like emojis, like emoticons?
Oh, yeah.
They've very gracefully drawn it out for me so I can understand. I'll
That's cool.
I'll try to let you guys know what it looks like. Okay.
And that.
Welcome. We're on to Kato's story. I was around
Yes, I was
elementary.
listening.
Okay, elementary age at the time. For some reason, I was in parentheses. Why don't not parentheses? Quotations. Why is I in quotations? Anyways, I is in quotation. I was helping my parents taking care of the family store. Then I, in quotations, decided to go upstairs and go into my room. I, in quotations, saw myself sleeping soundly on the bed, with
Huh?
my body lay bare itself. The pillows were by its side, left and right, and not hugging them, not covering its body with a blanket. It's just laying there on the bed. And then there's like a little pictograph of just a person. Then I, in quotations, get onto my bed, placing my arms and legs, my whole body into it, making the exact same pose. After perfectly placing myself into it, I immediately woke up. I looked around my room and myself. There was no one around and the pillows were in the exact same place as my dream. Then I went outside because I was scared and convinced myself that it was a dream. A few years later, me and my family watched a movie, Insidious. I have never seen it, so I don't know. I remembered the incident. After the movie, I told my family that I myself probably also had an out-of-body experience. My dad jokingly said, "Good thing you went back into your body and didn't get locked up like in the movie." My family laughed when he said that. I thought to myself, good thing I went back into my body, or I just hoped it was a dream, and I wish I don't have that kind of power. I never had an out-of-body experience again, only just that one time. Okay, that
So
was
that's
interesting.
why they put I in quotations.
The eye was, I guess, their body when they were outside.
Yeah, I think that's what I took from it.
Interesting.
This is a different sort of spooky.
The difference was subtle. Okay, where are we putting Kato's story?
I'd say
Would you consider an out-of-body experience like a ghost story, though?
I mean, in a situation
Yes,
where
because it's a spirit.
I guess
Oh,
you're the
yeah.
spirit, so it's not scary.
But what if you're not
But
the
what
spirit?
if, like,
every
I don't know,
time.
he got in somebody else's body?
Oh yeah.
is that a thing?
Maybe.
Woo!
Possession.
I say not
I
spooky
wonder if
enough.
people astral project
Not
when they're in a
spooky.
coma. Oh,
I've
there
heard
goes
about
family
that.
yelling. I'm gonna mute real quick.
Okay. right, we're putting it not spooky enough. It was like a whoa moment for sure. If you like, you're dreaming and you wake up in the exact position that you saw. But you
Yeah, 'cause
become the spirit, so there's no spooky happening.
Yeah, because the only other time I ever heard about this is when there's like a near-death experience and people say they have like an out-of-body experience.
Maybe they almost
Yeah.
died in their sleep.
Maybe. Let's see. We have 2 more. This one's kind of long. This is by Yankee Hours, and a Yankee Hours has, I think, two stories. So it says, "Hello, I saw this floating on my timeline and thought I'd share a story or two since there's no shortage of them from my childhood. I'm pretty sure my house was haunted or something. Sheesh!" I'll start off with the one I remember the most. When I was a kid, maybe 10 or 11, my younger sister, cousin, and I would often spend summer days chilling in the basement of my home. Why the fuck would you do that? It was one of those underground basements with very minimal natural lighting, so it was always chilly there when everywhere else in the house was sweltering. We liked to play games and watch cartoons down there on the old little TV that sat on the farthest counter next to the wooden cellar door, the one that was hard to open without a good amount of force. The room that we liked to use was actually the kitchen of the basement, with a big circular table pushed up against the wall and a few old chairs pulled out in different places. I remember sitting in the chair farthest from the door while my sister and cousin sat on the ones closest with their eyes glued to the screen. I've always had pretty good spatial awareness. My head will turn towards things before I even know to do so, and I'll sometimes notice things before others get the chance to. The sense has since dimmed with age, but back then, it was a little crazy. When I was sitting in the chair, kicking my legs under the table and staring absent-mindedly at the screen, I noticed movement from the corner of my eye in the direction of the cellar exit. The wooden door was open slightly and moving slowly, back and forth, with a soft creak that was almost inaudible in reality, but sounded like thunder in my ears when I noticed it. It swung when someone couldn't decide whether to keep it It swung like someone couldn't decide whether to keep it shut or open it all the way. And I know your first thought will be, well, it must have been the wind. But you see, that door in the basement was the second door to the gate that led outside. It was made of wood, so solid you'd bruise your knuckles knocking on it. That's the door I've always had to ask my uncles or dad to open if I wanted to go outside and play because it was so heavy. No one ever locked that door because it was so difficult to open. And here it was swinging freely like all the weight it'd been made with had melted away. I watched that door for maybe 10 seconds, 15 tops, with horrified and frozen tunnel vision as the squeaking echoed in my ears with the rushing blood. And in terror, I watched as the door paused as if it noticed me staring, slowly move like it was going to close all the way before it changed its mind and going the other direction, opening so wide that I heard the soft thud of the knob hitting the dresser behind it, before swiftly closing with a mighty. I was the first to run, sprinting to the stairs of the basement the fastest I've ever felt myself run, with the other two hot on my heels, darting through the upstairs door and into my dad's room, where he was playing games on his computer. The others didn't follow me in, and at that time I was too scared to think about it. Now, this next part I didn't experience myself, but it was told to me by my sister when I asked her about this again a few years later, so take it with a grain of salt. She told me that herself and my cousin ran to my aunt's room at the end of the hall and hid under a blanket she had on her bed, but she wasn't in there at the time. She said that the door to the room opened and closed repeatedly with them in there, as if taunting them for making the wrong choice. It had apparently lasted for all of 30 minutes before my aunt came back and asked them what they were doing. I never really liked going into the basement after that. Looking down the long steps always reminded me of that time, and I would always put up a fight when my dad wanted me to go down and do something. Every time I went after that, it always felt like someone was breathing down my neck, waiting for me to turn around and see them, only to chase me back up those stairs the second I couldn't take it anymore. Luckily, my dad had stopped asking me to do things down there. I still live in that house. I just never go into the basement now. That's the end.
Always
Shit, dude.
basement spirit.
Basements and
I'm not
epics,
even gonna
man.
lie, I hate basements too, so I understand completely.
Yeah. I think yours might be the scariest one here.
Yeah.
Having
I
the
mean-
door mock your, was it cousin? That's.
Yeah,
Imagine
that's
you're just hiding in the door, swinging open and closed. And it's just like, I know you would have come out. I know you would have come out.
Haha, peekaboo, peekaboo, peekaboo. No, I think that spooks for days.
Yep.
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it is. Yeah.
Great storytelling too. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, I was silent the
100%
entire
would
time. I
smash
could.
the ghost.
Stop it, Mom. Alright, and we have the second story from them. Again, from Yankee Hours. Hello again.
More
this
like
is my
spooky hours. Ooh.
spooky hours. Woo. This is my second and final story since I don't want to clog up your inbox. That's alright. Okay. This one is one of the newer events dating back to maybe 3 months ago. Since my entire family has basically stopped going to the basement for more reasons than just strange ghosts, we no longer really had access to a kitchen, so we made meals in a makeshift one in a room at the end of the hall that no one was using. There was a big window in that room that I'd always close the curtains of at night because it always felt like someone's eyes were searing the skin on your back if you didn't, but my sister would always open them again when I wasn't looking. On this day, my younger sister and I were standing in that room, talking and making food for ourselves in the small place. I remember she was standing really close to me while trying to sneak pieces of food off my plate like a roach. We were just laughing and jabbing at each other like usual. At that point in the year, I'd noticed strange black figures in the corner of my eye when I'd be doing things in the room with the window open, like someone walking towards me from down the hall, or seeing something sitting on the floor at my feet when I moved around. I just chalked up stuff like that to me being a little stir crazy from not leaving the house often, so I ignored it when it happened. But this day, my sister had opened the curtain of the window right after I had closed it and I didn't notice. From the corner of my eye, I saw a figure stick its head out from behind the door and I jumped to look at it. My sister was standing in front of me, and instead of jumping at my movement like I would have expected her to, she turned and jumped away from where I had seen the head. She turned to me with wide eyes and said, "Did you see that?" in a panicked voice. I always double check to make sure that those curtains are closed at night now. Wow.
Nope.
Oh
Yeah, we
Nope,
didn't
nope,
know.
nope, nope.
yeah.
That's your witness. You got two people witnessing the same fucking creature?
And
As
they
soon
both
as-
reacted to
As
it?
soon
No.
as the roach was there, I was like, okay, spooky story.
Alright, what are we
Like a
tier
roach.
listing this one?
Spooky. Spooks for days.
Yankees,
Mhm.
spooks,
Spooks for
days.
days,
Yeah.
for
Damn,
real.
you got some
Yeah.
good ones. You got some bangers in here, Yankee.
Yeah, I
Yankee
got actual
banger.
chills.
I did not like. I mean, I love the stories. I hated having to like envision that in my mind.
I know.
Yeah. Also move
Alright.
out immediately.
Move out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's time.
Yeah.
I think
Oh.
it's time.
I actually got chills. Ugh.
Yankee,
Oh
can
my
I move
gosh.
into your house, please?
Thanks for submitting the stories. That was wild. And Mara, I'm gonna have to put a restraining order on you. Nowhere in the vicinity of any ghosts and spooks, or else you're trying to fuck one.
Hey, listen. Monsters are also up my alley.
All right. Okay. Good to know.
We want to say for Mara.
That's all the stories we have planned today. I can refresh one more time to see if there's any more new submissions. Nope, that is all we have, and we have been going for about an hour and a half, a little bit over. Is there anything else you guys would like to say? Otherwise, well, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, all I learned is how much of a scaredy cat I actually am.
You're lucky it's morning for you. I gotta go to bed now.
Same.
Oh
I-
yeah.
Oh,
I
learned
guess.
that
I mean,
I'm not
I'm gonna be
a cat
thinking
at
about
all.
this all day.
But by the end of the day, you're gonna forget.
Oh, Lycoris, isn't it like close to midnight for you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about 20 minutes till midnight, and I gotta get up early tomorrow. Let's go.
No.
Do your best to sleep well. Drink some
I-
chamomile tea.
I think I'll be fine. I've been in this my apartment's old and looks pretty spooky. It took me a while to adjust to it, but I think I'm good. I think we're okay.
You might wake up to see a little girl beside you.
Huh?
You might wake up to see a little girl beside you.
No.
I hope not. I hope stories and talking about them don't transport ghosts across the country.
Imagine if a
man.
ghost just like wakes you up and stares into your soul.
I don't have one.
Ooh.
How's that?
So you're spookier than the ghost? Okay, checkmate.
Yes. Exactly. I am the
Spooky,
yokai
scary
haunting this
skeletons.
apartment.
Are you doing another spooky thing for October?
Yeah, I am planning on doing a few spooky things, including going out and streaming at nighttime.
Wow.
Gasp!
We're gonna do it in real live stream walking around at night in October.
That is horrifying.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel
are you
like
actually
the
gonna?
coolest thing to see walking around my neighborhood at night is like a flasher.
Oh no.
Well, you probably shouldn't go outside. I'll be with friends. I won't be alone. I'm probably
I was
gonna
gonna
die.
say, are you gonna go
That's
ghost
good.
hunting, or are you just gonna walk around?
I don't have any equipment, and I don't plan on ever buying any of those equipments. But
You can get a
we'll
spirit box
try
app
and look for things.
on the phone, I think.
Spooky frog in the spooky grass.
The spirit
Yes,
box
exactly.
app. Yeah.
If you do this again, I'll definitely submit more stories. Yeah, we can try again in October. If you guys want to do that, spooky part 2.
Yeah.
Spooky part 2.
All
I
right.
have plenty of stories.
I'm sure you do.
Many encounters.
But you cannot submit
I
any
feel like
sexual
my
ones,
spookiest
okay?
stories have to do with dreams though, because a lot of my dreams are scarier than real life for me.
Interesting.
Understandable. Dreams are
Nightmares and
scary.
stuff.
Nightmares. Yeah.
I guess I could suck it up and see if I can't go back to the same place. See if I don't catch anything else.
Oh no.
Hey, Sheen, go back!
Are you really going to taunt a demon? Dang.
Well, I'm
especially
just
with the
curious. Now that we were talking about it, I was like, man, I haven't thought about that in a while. So
You gotta do
Kinda-
a Fortnite dance in front of the demon. You gotta be like.
Taunting the demon.
I don't know about taunting. I would just say, hey, what's up, man, and then kind of leave.
Do you still have the spirit box?
I do.
That's
I
fucked
still
up.
have it.
Do you want to
Put
turn
out
it on right
alcohol
now?
for the demon.
What'd you say?
Pour one
You
out
want
for
to
the
get
homie.
it?
For
Turn
real.
it on right now and talk to whatever's in your house.
Oh no, that's
I can go
worse.
see if I can't find it real quick. Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine something replies. He can't leave the house immediately.
If I,
He's
Time to
literally-
move out.
yeah, let's say if I hear anything, I'm dipping.
Maybe we shouldn't.
Stream ends.
The silence, darkness. What happened? The ghost got
Next
him.
time then. Ugh,
Next time, yeah,
Just
because I have to
opens the
dig for
box
stuff.
and
I don't
everybody
want
starts
to cause you to
simultaneously dying.
No.
No, why would you say that?
Okay, then with that said, I think we're gonna end here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fun. It was tons of fun.
Yeah.
I'm spooked to no end, but it was fun.
Thank you guys for coming. How about one last time, everybody shout out where we can find you for the people who came later. Go.
Okay.
We're gonna go in
I
a circle. I
see.
can start it.
Oh yeah, you could use that.
Alrighty. You guys can find me at twitch.tv/Ayden Glyden. I tend to do more Yu-Gi-Oh kind of streams. I do Master Duel, and I do like to dual chat. I'm actually streaming later today at 9 p.m. CST if you guys would like to join. One of my favorite things to do is dual chat. So if you guys have Master Duel and you want to join in and have some fun, we can go ahead and
catch
do
a
that.
Stream. Thank you. And
Thank you for
coming
having
out.
me.
All right, Stelli.
Yeah, you guys can find me on twitch.tv/Stelli Ferovs. I stream there pretty regularly. Currently my schedule is like Wednesday to Sunday, and this is my regular streaming time. So
We're stealing.
Hey, it
your
worked out
stream.
perfect.
it's okay, cause like it just so happened that my Baldur's Gate team have
Okay.
all vanished to do various things. So I was like, yeah, yes, oh fun.
Perfect. All right, thank
fun.
you for coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yay! Okay,
Yay.
Mara.
Oh, me? I'm hello.
Hello. We're ending, so
I'm
goodbye.
Mara Evantree. You can find me on YouTube. I don't really stream on Twitch. I streamed once and didn't know that you were supposed to enable VODs, so that's gone in the abyss.
Oh,
And also the
Lord.
recording corrupted.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, check me out, I guess, if you like hearing people burp on stream.
And fuck demons, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a title
Fuck
now at
demons
this
in an
point.
Earl Ace platonic way.
Nice. Okay, and then Yume.
Hi, I'm Yumeru. I stream mostly on YouTube. I do have a Twitch. I don't use it, but currently I am on a break. So I may stream once in a while, but yeah,
Break.
yeah, on a break. But
Yay,
yeah,
thank
thanks
you
for
for
having me.
coming.
Yay!
Yes. Nice
It
meeting
was-
all of y'all.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
awesome. And it's on
Thank you
short
for
notice, too.
having me.
Of course, you guys are always welcome back for next round of spooky stories.
Ooh, that'll be
Get some
fun.
good ones. All right. With that being said, that's the end for me. Thank you guys for all coming out and hanging with us. You've been a pleasant audience, and we are out.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, they can no longer hear me on my side.
Okay, I'm gonna mute y'all's. Hold up.
Yay!
Okay.
Okay. Let me quickly do a closing before we finish, I guess. But yeah, thank you guys for coming today. Thank you, Ethan. Yeah, it's spooky stories. A lot of spooky stories, honestly. Yeah, I got chills with a couple of them, and it's. I'm in a spookiest spot in my kitchen. I mean, in my house, in the kitchen. I'm so scared right now to turn behind, because behind me is just a row of windows, and I'm afraid of windows. Do that make sense? Windows are scary, guys. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me today. Although, again, as I said, I'm on a break still. I don't know when I'll be back on a frequent streaming schedule. You may see me pop into my friend's stream once in a while. So keep an eye on Twitter. You can see my Twitter link there. If not, yeah, you guys can check me out on Twitter. And then if you look at the details, description, yes. Description in the bottom. The bottom, yeah. You'll see the people that have joined us today for the collab in the that information. Yeah, this is definitely not Scarf. I was muted at the start, guys, because my mic disconnected. But yeah, thank you guys for coming today. I'll probably go back to rest and sleep soon. It's like almost 11 p.m. right now. But yeah, oyasume, sweet dreams.